Yo, what's up? It's your guide Q back with another daily Reddit video. Oh no. Oh, dude. Anyway, we're over on r/am I Overreacting, which is kind of like AITA, but just slightly different, and I like it, and there's interesting stories here, so let's get into some of them. Alright, this is an interesting one. Am I Overreacting found weird pictures in my BF's iPad. I went out of town, and my BF stayed home because he had to work. I came back and thought he was acting a bit off, so I checked his pictures on his iPad that sync directly from his iPhone. In his recently deleted folder, I found a picture of my side of the bed where my medication, book, and melatonin are, a picture of my desk, and a picture of a printed out picture of my brother and I, along with a handwritten note that's on the fridge, and a picture of our dresser. We are not planning on moving or selling any of these items either. I'm convinced that he took them so he could remember how everything looked before hiding them because he invited someone over. Am I overreacting? I don't want to say anything about it to him until I get a little clarity. And this comes with an update. I was not overreacting. I confronted him directly with the photos and asked him why he took them. He immediately said, "Why were you looking through my stuff?" I told him I felt like he's been acting shady, so I decided to look. I asked to go through his phone, and he just said why. I told him that I needed to see it because I don't trust him. He got so weird, saying that I don't need to see it and that I just need to relax, so I asked yet again what is up with the pictures, and he literally did not know what to say. Like he couldn't even come up with an explanation that made any sense himself. Then I asked if he brought someone home while I was gone, and he said no, of course, and that I was being ridiculous. I again said that I needed to see his phone for proof of that, and he refused. I debated asking my neighbor for his Ring doorbell footage from the time I was gone, and to see if there was a girl that went into my apartment, but I'm not even going to waste my time. His reaction was all I needed to know that I was right. Should I have not gone through his things? Yes. But did I? Yes. And I found out that he was cheating on me? Also, yes. So thank you to everyone who gave me all their opinions. I really appreciate it. So this is one where I had no clue where it was going until she mentioned the cheating thing, and it does make a lot of sense. I mean, they were recently deleted. They were these very specific photos. Like, I'm not trying to give anybody any ideas, but if he had really wanted to have a normal explanation, he could have just taken like way back pictures of the room and been like, I just wanted to capture stuff for memories, and then not deleted the pictures afterwards, because that's a red flag. And then his whole reaction to it not having any explanation. I mean, even in some weird world where he is not cheating, I feel like her trust is just so fragile that it would be impossible to pull things back. So I think she ended up making the right decision. Really weird thing to do. 1, don't cheat on your partner. 2, don't do any of fucking this shit. Alright, this one's just insane. Am I overreacting? A baby left in hotel while mom and dad went out drinking. Just had some friends tell my wife about a recent trip they had gone on and taken their 1-year-old daughter. At 9 p.m. she told her they put the baby down for the night and went bar hopping till 3 a.m. and coming back to the hotel room drunk. Please tell me I'm right. This is reckless. Yes, this is just one of those ones that makes you question, like, who in your life is making you feel like you need to come to Reddit and ask this question. Yo, let's just leave a baby alone for 6 hours in a hotel room by itself. Like, who is advising this? Who is accepting this? Am I overreacting? I bought my boyfriend a $200 pan, told him not to use metal on it. For Christmas, I sold my Nintendo Switch to afford to buy my boyfriend an expensive pan. $200! I told him repeatedly not to use metal on it, not to wash it with steel wool, and to wash it by hand. We live long distance, so I'm only able to visit every few months for a week. I got up this morning to make breakfast and took the pot out. Before I even took it out, I felt like it would be scratched. Ooh, that's a little bit... You're already feeling like he did not know how to use this, even though you had no indication that that would be the case. And it is scratched. There are these large gouges and smaller scratches too. I am upset, like very upset. I'm not sure if this is my overreacting or not. Like, I didn't have the money to buy it. I sold something I liked in order to get it, and he can't even take care of it properly. The first comment on this I thought was a pretty good point. Do not sell something that you like in order to get somebody else a gift, because then there's always going to be this little thing of like, I sacrificed something to get you this, which is what gifts can be sometimes, but it's just, it does not seem like this $200 pan was necessary. In my experience, if my partner is asking for a $200 pan, I would expect them to be obsessed with this. Maybe they're a cooking enthusiast, they know what they're getting into with the $200 pan. So I'm thinking either they wanted a pan and you wanted to get them like the top of the line pan, and then you informed them of, you know, the seriousness of this and they did not take it seriously, and you expected them to have not taken it seriously because you were like, I had a feeling that it was going to be scratched. That's not good. You probably shouldn't have bought this in the first place if you thought that your partner is the type of person that after it was explained to them what to do with it, you still didn't expect that they would do that. That's like, I don't know, I feel like with all of that in mind, you should not have gotten this for them in the first place. It is very unfortunate for you, but I feel like you should have maybe known that your partner was not the type of person that could handle this. And that's not to take all the responsibility off of the partner. Once they knew that this was a very premium product and there were special instructions with it, they should have taken that seriously, but it sounds like you know that they were the type of person that would not take that seriously. So this probably should have been just like a $20 Walmart pan. Okay, this one is another one from like space somewhere. It cannot exist in our universe. Am I overreacting? My friend undressed my boyfriend. So I, female 23, live with my friend F21 as we are in university. My BF, male 25, stayed over on the weekend as my friend wanted to drink and play some drinking games, the three of us. Anyway, so me and my BF are pretty lightweight when it comes to drinking, and my friend knows this. She takes a lot more drinking to get drunk than us, and normally by the time we are done with drinking, she is only starting to feel tipsy. So we begin the night and play some drinking games and have a few shots. Each of us get a penalty for losing, etc. My friend keeps handing us shots, which we drink, and as the night goes on, we are pretty drunk. At the end of the night, my boyfriend starts getting to the stage of feeling sick and is in the bathroom resting his head on the toilet in case he is. I stumble over and rub his back for comfort and decide to make him some water. She means get him some water and make him some squash, so she'll explain this later. It's kind of confusing. My friend then comes into the kitchen and tells me that she put him into bed and took his t-shirt and trousers off of him. I don't really say anything because I myself am drunk and don't know what to say. My boyfriend has no recollection of even going to bed. I'm just thinking about it now and it's been sort of dwelling on me like, is this normal? Why would she take him to bed first of all, as I am capable of doing that, but why would she take his clothes off? Not just leave him there with his clothes on, as I could take them off of him if he wasn't able to, or it wouldn't kill him to sleep with his clothes on. Yeah, that's the ultimate point. People can fucking sleep in their clothes. I don't want to make a huge thing about this, but I just don't know if I'm overreacting with feeling weird about it. Edit. Thank you everyone for your responses. There's a lot, so I'm just going to answer a few questions here that I've been seeing. When I said I was going to make him water, I obviously didn't mean that I was going to make water from scratch. I was just supposed to write make him squash. I took so long in the kitchen because I had to clean a glass, look around for some squash, which I didn't end up finding, so I just settled for giving him water instead. While I was looking for the squash, being drunk made this way harder, lol. My roommate came in and told me about taking his trousers and top off. Just for one big clarification thing, he did not throw up on himself. That really would have been the only circumstance in which somebody would have needed to take clothes off another person, and even then, I would have been like, yo, OP, your boyfriend just threw up on himself. You should probably get him cleaned up and change his clothes and get him into bed. Like, I'm not gonna take the liberty, but he didn't throw up on himself, so that it was even more unnecessary. I feel like even like guy to guy, I've never like brought one of my drunk friends into a bedroom and been like, oh, I gotta make sure he's nice and cozy, let me take these clothes off of him. Like, it's just wacky. I've maybe like heard vague rumors of girls doing this for each other, but at the same time, I feel like it's like the puke context when you're trying to get somebody out of like gross clothes. Outside of that, it just makes no sense. It makes even less sense if we accept the premise that this girl girl gets much less drunk in general than this guy and the OP of the story. So if she's the least drunk person in the situation, there's no way she should be like confusingly taking clothes off of somebody as she puts them into bed. Just does not make any sense whatsoever. Very weird, would make me super uncomfortable. Am I overreacting? About to block this guy. Messages after one date. I want to understand all of you, your worst and your best. Does this not translate for you? I don't understand this first part. It does. You would have drunk. No clue what that means. She says, ha ha ha. He says, I love you and everything about you. I want you to be my baby mama and spend the rest of my life with you. She says, ha ha ha. How can you know all of this after one date? He says, ha ha, I feel it. I'm really physically attracted to you. We talk to each other so well, and you are everything a man can ask for. I don't think it's overreacting to block the guy. I mean, if you wanted to be like really nice and try and be helpful, you could send him a message being like, hey, this is way too much for pretty much everybody in the world. You can't say I love you and I want to get you pregnant and spend the rest of my life with you like after the first date. That's just not, it's not acceptable. I'm saying 99 point, like maybe like 69 more nines after that 9% of people will be off put by that sort of vibe. So you could tell him that, or you could just block him. Either one is perfectly fine. Am I overreacting? My fiance spent $600 on Gacha. My fiance spent $600 on a Gacha game without asking. For those who don't know, I had to look it up. I've seen this mechanic in games before, but it's basically just loot box mechanics where you spend money to open some sort of thing and you get a random in-game item like CSGO cases or Overwatch packs. I don't remember. But anyway, you spend money and you get in-game items, usually that have no value at all other than some sort of artificial rarity. I flipped out, and now his entire family are calling me abusive and encouraging him to call off the engagement. For context, I work 55 hours a week, and he drives Uber during the day while I'm at work. We are paycheck to paycheck. Right off the bat, it's going to be hard for the fiancé to come off as reasonable at all with this premise, but let's see how it plays out. The fiancé says, stop calling me, and OP responds, we need to talk right now. Pick up now. You're not being fair at all. I explained my boundaries to you, but you are not respecting them. This is exactly what my family says is abusive about you. You spent $600 on our credit card on a fucking game. I explained it already to you. $600 for 2 virtual characters you don't need without asking, when we are paycheck to paycheck. That card was for emergencies with the Civic. I think then the fiance sends a screenshot of the character, which is literally just some anime. I don't fucking know what Genshin Impact is all about, but it doesn't matter how powerful this character is. I don't understand how this is reasonable, but the text continue. You told me you wanted her too, but you aren't happy for me, LMAO. Actually, I am done. I'm a 29-year-old man. I'm allowed to make purchases without needing your permission. That is an abusive dynamic. My family explained that very clearly to me. Yes, I said I want Fiorina. I didn't say we should spend hundreds to get constellations. You are a fucking addict. You already spent all of our Christmas money on it. You are snooping into your fiance's purchases. You should take a look at yourself. Okay, I'm just gonna stop right there for a second. Like, it would be one thing. No, I cannot defend the purchasing of anime characters in video games for $600. Like, random chance, I don't know what's going on with constellations, but it sounds like a huge waste of money. But it would be one thing if they had, like, completely separate finances and she was, like, crossing some boundary to, like, dig into his bank account. But it sounds like it was a credit card that they share for emergencies with their vehicle, so it's not really snooping in my opinion, but let's continue. OP responds with a middle finger and says, this is a shared card that I set up for emergencies and you went behind my back. Why don't you tell your family about your gambling addiction to video game characters? Now, this brought up an interesting question in my mind. Which is worse? Like having a gambling addiction where you have this hope of making money through gambling, which is just insanely unrealistic, or having a gambling addiction where there is no financial upside and it's all just on pixel pistols in a video game. Like, I actually don't know which is, like, more potentially damaging. But the fiance responds, "Actually, my family told me about your coercion, and I believe that you are a narcissist personality. That is why you are continuing to try to control me and control my financial decision making. You know that this is my values, and I have had Fiorina as my wallpaper forever. I refuse to be verbally abused for being myself. I am battling anxiety, and you do not care at all. I don't want to get married to you. I'm not talking on the phone. I emailed screenshots for my appointment tomorrow. Thank you for giving me a horrible anxiety attack and ruining my night. And no, I didn't do a fucking thing with Fiorina yet because of your calls. I will call Capital One and dispute the charge. Your account will get banned. Try it and you will lose me forever. I am going to Scottsdale for the night. Stop calling me for 12 hours and we can talk then. Good night. Will you please answer my mom? Please. I apologize for my reaction. As I said, my anxiety is bad today and I have to do better. I love you. You don't need to dispute the charges. I will get you the money soon. My family can spot me 600 tonight. So can you text him your Venmo? Anxiety really bad. Please." So in the replies, the OP says that the engagement is off, which is very relieving news because this stuff, it just doesn't really like work itself out. I mean, gambling addictions are real, anxiety is real. You could like see yourself managing that in a relationship, but in this case, it's gambling on like anime characters and video games. It doesn't really matter that it's anime, but like $600 on like a powerful, rare character is just like, why would that be important to you at all when you're living paycheck to paycheck? That's just something that's so out of this world that it really cannot be resolved. And then him additionally poisoning the well against his fiance to his entire family, and they're calling her abusive and stuff like that. Like, that shit is never gonna get better. So there's really nowhere to go from there. He painted himself into a corner, and I think it worked out for the best in the end. Yo, so sorry it's been a while. I've been doing a lot of stuff with my band Dear Mary Ann. We accidentally messed around a little bit too hard, and now we're doing like a tour of 23 cities in the United States in like 2.5 weeks. So that's crazy. I hope you're doing well. I hope things are cool. I'm going to be trying to make more videos. I say that every single time, but this time for real. I like this subreddit. It seems very similar to Am I the Asshole? So we might run into the same problems with those two subreddits, but I'll keep an eye on it. Let me know if there's any sort of videos you want to see. Make sure you're staying hydrated, drinking freaking water, and skating on. I'll see you soon. Peace.